What's up, everybody? It's Steve here. Today is September the 8th. This will be my 1 week, 5-day post-op gastric bypass surgery update video. I'm trying to record from my camera here because I noticed my webcam is very sketchy with the sound. So anyway, here's my deal. August 27th, I had gastric bypass surgery at Centre Metropolitain de Surgery in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. Dr. Nicholas Christou performed my surgery, and he is one of the, if not the most experienced bariatric surgeon in Canada. He's been a member of the anti-obesity movement since the mid-80s. He's written lots of articles and has gone on television pushing for, better treatments and understanding of obesity and things like that. So, I mean, here's the numbers. My heaviest prior to starting the OptiFast liquid diet before my gastric bypass surgery was 355. After gastric bypass surgery, I was down to 338, so I lost 17 pounds on the liquid diet in 2 weeks. And then in the 1 week and 5 days, so 12 days since surgery, I've lost 12 pounds. So I'm down a total of 29 pounds since this all started, which is great. Very excited about that. So, things are just kind of going along. I do get a little bit sidetracked, not really sidetracked, but I just kind of forget, I get too comfortable, things are healing up and I'm feeling great, and so I'm drinking water a little too fast sometimes. That kind of catches up to me, or I take a few bites too fast in succession, and that catches up to me too, and it's quite painful. But it's hard. It's a hard habit to break, and I'm sure I'll get used to it, as time goes by. What else? The multivitamin, multiminerals, and the calcium chelate, which is just a calcium and a vitamin D supplement that I was given a prescription for. I was given a prescription, and when it was filled, it was like a dry tablet, like a chalky tablet, like a Tums kind of thing. And those things were just devastating to my stomach. I would get extremely stomach upset after having those vitamins. So I went out and found a gummy vitamin and a gummy calcium chelate. And there's more sugar in it, there's calories in it, but at least it doesn't, cripple me in the mornings and evenings when I take that stuff. So I kind of wanted to go over, since I've, gone through this whole process myself. I've done, the liquid diet, I've had the surgery, had the post-op, and I'm kind of on the mend now. I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock to get my staples removed. I wanted to go over a few things of how everything went for me. I went in for my surgery August 27th. I was there at 7 o'clock. My surgery was about 8 o'clock. I went up there, they strap you down to the bed, they hook you up they put circulation sleeves on my legs. I don't know if that's a standard thing for everybody, but they put these, they kind of just fill up with air and make sure your blood is flowing and stuff, and they kind of crucify you to the bed, and they strap your arms back, and, one side gets a blood pressure monitor, the other side was the IV, and so the anesthesiologist was in there talking to me, and he found the vein and got everything hooked up in there. Gave me a sedative. I guess what they do at this clinic is that they get your air tube down into your down inside you before they actually knock you out with the main anesthesia. So this initial sedative was just a relaxant, so I would be still awake, but so they can get that air tube down without me choking. I guess there was some complications they've had before where people were asleep, unconscious, and they're trying to get these tubes down, and of course your brain doesn't like that when it's whatever goes on there when you're asleep. So it was kind of funny because he put this sedative in me. It was about a full syringe. I don't know if it was like 3 or 5 cc's. The surgeon came in and said, okay, we're going to get going here in a little bit, and then it was like an instant snap of a finger, and the nurse was waking me up in recovery, and I had some pretty severe pains in my stomach. I guess they do inflate your stomach with CO2, and a lot of that gas gets trapped in your belly inside there. So excuse me, when you come to, it's pretty painful. So they brought me back to my room. For the first night it's a 2-person room, but for the first night I was the only person there. They gave me some painkillers, and I was up moving around a little bit trying to get the gas out and stuff, and by the next morning I was feeling really good. Still some minor pains here and there, and they started introducing a diet, and I think for breakfast there was Jello and a shot glass of apple juice, and for lunch they give soup broth and Jello and things like that. So I got walking around lots, and honestly the second day I felt like I could have left. I was in a little bit of pain, but I didn't think it was anything that Tylenol couldn't take care of. With that surgery, you stay in the hospital for 2 nights. So it was the day of my surgery. It was 8 a.m. I stayed there that night. Then the whole next day, which was kind of killer, because not killer, but it was just shitty because I was, didn't really want to be there. I didn't feel like I needed to be there, but I guess it was the best thing to do. And the next morning, I went back to the hotel, and we spent a week in Laval, Quebec, which is part of the greater Montreal area. And then on September 1st, we drove over to Niagara Falls, and it was that was amazing. We had a really nice room there at the Hilton Falls view on the falls side, so we were on the 39th floor, looking at, you can see both the American Falls and the Canadian Falls, which was pretty breathtaking. And luckily enough, they had 2 fireworks shows go on, so we had some pretty good pictures my wife got on her Facebook and stuff, so that was great. Yeah, we spent a few days there, then we drove up and out kind of northeast to a place called Guelph, and my aunt is there from back east. She lives there with her husband and 2 kids, and so we spent 3 days there. And the wife and I went downtown Toronto, which is about an hour and a half drive from Guelph, and we checked out the Hockey Hall of Fame, which I was pumped to go see, and then went to the CN Tower, which is the tallest building in Canada. At one point it was the world's tallest building. I think it's still the tallest building in North America. So that was our vacation in a nutshell. And so, you know, with the whole gastric bypass thing, you know, for me there was a lot more pain associated immediately post-op than I had initially anticipated. And I know a lot of hospitals will do the morphine drip, and you're kind of in control of that. My hospital wasn't like that at all. It was either a suppository, which was a painkiller up the bum, or weaker painkillers you could take orally. And I guess the first, like when I came right out of surgery, they gave me the suppository because I was in a lot of pain, and that kind of KO'd me for the day, combined with the anesthesia. Even when I was awake, which wasn't that often, I felt like I couldn't really keep my eyes open and stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So I wanted to do a 1-week update. Of course, we were on holiday, and so it's kind of hard to do that. So this is kind of it here combined. Now, I have the doctor's appointment tomorrow. I have to go get some new tires put on my truck, and then I believe they're going to send me back to work either the day after, the 10th, or the 11th. So maybe I'll come in with a 3-week update. I want to try and get on here and just be as active as I possibly can. Once I get these staples out and I get back to work, I'm going to start my 100 push-ups, 200 sit-ups program, and continue at that throughout the winter. And you know, my goal weight kind of, you know, when I played sports, I played hockey and rugby and baseball when I was in high school and stuff, and I went anywhere from 200 to 220. 207 was a number I remember lots because I was in boxing and I had to cut weight to get below 205, and I was always 207. So that's kind of my goal around there, you know, anywhere from 200 to 220. I do carry quite a bit of muscle mass.